That's out of here!
Catch and fire. It's on the... He made it! Oh my...
Hello everyone and welcome inside of Platt Arena. It's Preston husband Ryan Holzapple and the rest of our tremendous FD in Sports crew. It's Huntington, it's St. Francis. It's a great rivalry, Ryan, and if it's anything like the girls game, you guys are in for like the best basketball game you've ever seen.
Yeah, and that girls game was incredible, and I'm sure this will also be another incredible game. These two teams are so tightly contested in the Crossroads League standings. Huntington right there in that four slot. Cougars right above them in the 3 slot with the same conference record. So this is a huge game because the Foresters can jump them in the standings. They get a home game with the 3 as the 3 seed. And obviously both teams with Cougars receiving votes trying to up their seed in the national tournament.
St. Francis comes in at 15-6, 8-3 in the conference. Huntington's at 16-5, 6-5 in the conference, but they're coming off their best win of the year. They went to Bethel, and a special moment happened as well in that win over number 7 Bethel. Lane Sparks scored his 2,000th career point, an incredible career.
I mean, Lane Sparks is one of the best scorers the Foresters have really ever seen. I mean, his impact was felt his freshman year. He came in and changed the dynamic of this team with Zach Goodline, where they were just this 1-2 KO punch to other teams. And Lane Sparks has only improved his offensive repertoire throughout this season.
We'll talk more about him later, but you can see here these two teams, they are pretty tight in the major categories, both right around 50% from the field. Huntington slightly better from 3-point. St. Francis slightly better from the charity stripe. That's been a real issue for HU.
Yeah.
Assists per game, Huntington a little higher. Huntington's got the best turnover ratio in the country, and they are scoring 85 points per game compared to 83 for St. Francis. We're about to do some starting lineups. We're going to go ahead and take a break during that. Come back after the video board is played. We'll have tip-off between the Cougars and Foresters on FDN Sports.
Like I said before, I don't really see the need of you coming in here, Mr. Inspector. We always say here that our health is top priority. It's like no other here, okay? We make sure that we're the best place in New York City. Is that right, my friends? Yes, yes it is.
I understand that, Mr. Harvey, but it's my job. The health department insists.
Figures. Well, this place may look shabby. You may see something you don't want to see, but we got heart. And we are an honest establishment, okay? My grandfather, 50 years ago, created this place. And bada boom, he gave the position to my father. And bada bing, after my father retired, made this place my very own. And that's why you see this pristine establishment you see before your very eyes.
Pristine is one word for it.
We like to make sure that cleanliness is our #1 priority. It's a good plate. And we want to make sure that our mantra here, and what I am giving to all these chefs, is that the customer is always right. Always. And that means we want to make sure we stay clean. We wash our hands at least once during our time in the kitchen every night.
How thorough of you.
Yes, it is. We like to have fun here, don't we? Don't we have fun? And I just have one question for you. No, I'm going to keep it blunt. Blunt! I just have to say, what's your verdict? Seriously, though.
My verdict, Mr. Harvey, is that this restaurant is not up to scratch. Honestly, I'm surprised that this place is still even open.
What health codes did we violate, huh? What stuff, huh?
Which ones didn't you violate? My word is final. I'm taking this report to the health department tomorrow morning. I hope you have your things in order.
You can't do this to me. My grandfather created this place. My father took it on after he died. My grandfather's dead. You think you could take away my restaurant? I'm not gonna let this happen. Ugh!
Tip-off coming your way from Platt Arena. It is the St. Francis Cougars and the Huntington Foresters, two teams battling for top 4 spots in the Crossroads League. Both teams probably already locks for the national tournament. We have got a fun one in store here today. Just starting a little later than usual, about an hour later, 4 o'clock. The women's game beforehand went into double overtime. And now it's the Foresters and Cougars at center court. Landon Jordan will give HU the ball to start. This should be a good one today, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything, like you said, like the women's game, this is going to be a very entertaining ball game.
St. Francis drilled Huntington in the first matchup, a 24-point win. Teams in a little different spot right now as Sparks tries to get it going. That one misses off the front of the rim and ripped down by Isaiah Malone.
And we know that name very well from his brother Elijah Malone, who had such an amazing career with Grace, but Isaiah Malone is very talented in his own right as well.
Averaging 15 and 8 on the year. Almodovar, he's the one that can really get it going as he misses his first shot of the day. Him and Sparks, the two best scorers in the conference, caught by Jordan. A foul is going to be called as Brandon Northern's going to pick up a quick personal.
And Northern, a pretty good defender and a pretty good shot maker for this team, and that's an early foul on him. Not even a minute in.
Huntington trying to get it to Sparks off the curl. Instead, it's Jackson Paul coming off maybe his best night offensively. Goodline wide open, fires and hits.
And Drew Goodline, he has picked up right where he left off from last season. He has just been an incredible three-point shooter for them, and he just does everything they need on the offensive end.
If him and Jackson Paul hit shots, this Forester team is really, really good. And now Drew showing off the defense a little bit. Drew's coming off an awesome game at Bethel. 17 points on 6 of 13, knocked down 4 triples. He's kind of that glue guy, that guy that if he can get going, Huntington's in a good spot. Almodovar guarded by Sparks, falls away, tough shot, missed it. They forced him to take 2 tough ones, which is always good.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want him to get open looks, because once he starts getting open looks, he can get hot from the field. He can go on some streaky shooting moments in these games. You just got to keep him away from those.
Goodline looking for 2 straight. Why not?
And stares him down a little bit too. Drew Goodline just picking up right where he left off in Bethel, and he's going to make his impact felt in this game.
6-0 start. It's a 6-0 Goodline start as he's got the first 2 triples. Double team for Malone. Zane Burke will do a lot of this. Left that one short. Falls right into the hands of Joe Reedy, who sticks it back.
An unfortunate play there, but I mean, sometimes that happens. The ball just bounces weird, goes straight back to the offensive player, but great defense from the Foresters so far.
JP running the point. Sparks missed his first shot. Tries to cut to his strong left, has to kick it back out. JP's not shot it well this year, but he's feeling a little more confident. Had that one blocked, but it looks like Malone got him on the right hand.
I honestly, that's one of the fouls that I don't always agree with, because there's going to be follow-through after a block, so it's almost like, why would you call it? Because, I mean, he got the block, but, I mean, the Foresters will take it any day of the week with 2 extra free throws, but not always a call I completely agree with.
I used to ask Connor Platt, who's one of my good friends and had a great career here at Huntington University, why do shooters miss shots so bad when they get the shot off and then they're swatted on the arm? It's like they almost know it's coming. It's kind of strange, but that, I thought he got a little more risk there on that one than what you're kind of talking about, but I do know what you're saying with the
high five.
Yeah.
The high five. I've never thought the high five after the 3 should warrant free throws.
I guess you bring that up to the rules of the NAIA, and we'll see if they change it.
Yeah.
They're changing a lot of things. We've seen it with replay and different things like that. JP did split the pair. Talked to Corey Alford. He thinks if they can come out and they can punch this Cougars team in the face, he feels really good about the rest of the game. And Northern throws a punch of his own with his first 2.
That was a really nice play for him. Got Jordan off his feet and just finishes.
Max Gizzy just saw his sister Isabella running the point for St. Francis on the women's side. Trying to get it into Landon Jordan. Now Lane takes off, goes to the right, tough shot, missed it, fought for, loose ball, picked up, and the backcourt by Goodline. Huntington has numbers. Sparks roaming into the paint again. That's a tough 2.
And that is just too easy for Lane Sparks. Once he gets to that shot, it's game over. It's Goodline, what a play!
Huntington again with numbers. Jackson finds Gizzy. He slams on the break. Good line, feeling for three. Not good. Another O board is loose and picked up by Jordan. And then a foul called on Almodovar, so he'll pick up the first. And this is exactly what Coach Corey Alford was talking about. Last game, St. Francis, without a doubt, came out and punched Huntington right in the face. They out-hustled him. They outshot him. Huntington shot 35%. Today, the intensity level is much higher.
Well, and like you said, St. Francis, the first time out-hustled them. Right now, they're out-hustling St. Francis, and they're getting all these extra possessions, and it is killing St. Francis's defense.
Sparks rises. He's got 5 straight.
And Lane Sparks, you know he's going to score at some point in this game. It's just when is he going to get hot from the field? And so far, it's already at the beginning of this game.
He's now tied Shane Merriman for the 8th place in scoring history in Huntington University basketball. Shane Merriman was incredible playing back in the early 2010s. Almodovar and Reedy posting up. A lot of space for Luke, and he got the friendly roll.
That is the shooter's touch if I've ever seen it. That was a crazy shot.
Good line. Started the drive. Now Northern pushes him out all the way around half court. Huntington going to start a little later in the shot clock here. Drew, in and out dribble. Gizzy will fire a triple. Oh yeah, Huntington's on fire right now.
Everyone's getting a share of the offensive load here with Max Gizzy making a 3. And so far, HU's offense firing.
If Max can just knock in those catch and shoot threes, this team as well with Goodline and Jackson Paul, they're tough to guard. Northern, you want to make him do that. He's not a great three-point shooter at 28%. Jackson finds Gizzy again. Not enough space for Max to fire it. Drew will resettle with 20 on the shot clock. Drew still feeling good, looking for number 3, but it's going to be 3 chances at the free throw line instead.
And second foul on Isaiah Malone. That's a huge foul. I mean, his presence inside, his leaping ability, his athleticism, his rim protection is so valuable to the St. Francis squad. So to get him out early in this first half with 2 fouls is really good.
Isaiah Malone has to stay on the court. He was walking towards the bench with the 2 fouls. Robert Fry the second waiting to check in out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Malone will have to take a seat just 5 minutes into the game. He's had as many as 30 and 12 in a game. Also has had 15 rebounds against Goshen. And he's had 20 plus in 4 of his last 6. So that's a big guy to lose on the bench for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why Goodline took that shot, because he had enough space, and that was going to have to be a reckless closeout on Malone if he wanted any chance of getting that ball, and got the foul. That was a really smart play from Goodline.
And now Huntington's got the size advantage. They've got Brouvier and Caden Johnson in there. And Caden Johnson's best game of the year, I should say, probably came against St. Francis when he scored 12, which is right around his season high. 10-point lead. Forrester's off to a nice start. Drew Goodline off to a great start.
Yeah.
More points than St. Francis. Almodovar drives in to the right. A foul called. And it's going to go on Caden Johnson, and it's going to send us to our first media timeout. 17-7, Huntington up by 10 when we come back on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Hot start for HU, a 10-point lead right now, shooting 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from downtown, 0 turnovers. That's kind of the name of the game for HU. If they make shots, which sounds reasonable and something simple, but if they are making shots, they are so hard to beat.
Well, and the reason why you say, if they're making shots, which To a lot of people, it sounds like, well, yeah, that's part of the game. Because their defense is so good in this Crossroads League. They are one of the hardest teams to score on. So if they're on the other end making their shots, then you're also struggling on the offensive end, and it just piles up on you, and you eventually find yourself down 20. So the Foresters, if they can continue to shoot like this, you know their defense is going to be well. They could possibly blow this Cougars team out.
See if they can keep this pressure up. Almodovar will have a couple of free throws. 77% on the year. He averaged 17.9 points per game last year as a freshman. Probably going to be a 1,000-point scorer unless something crazy happens through 2 years. Second leading scorer in the conference behind Lane Sparks. This dude is one of the most athletic guards you will see. This is actually a guy, I don't know if it will happen, but he could transfer to a D1 and play tomorrow. I mean, he's really that talented.
Well, and arguably his biggest thing in his game is his shot. He is an electric three-point shooter. And like you said, he's also extremely athletic and fast, which catches people off guard because they expect him to just shoot when he does so much more.
Sparks up and under, a lot of contact there, no whistle. St. Francis takes it away. Huntington, good defense in transition though to stop the run. Try the second to Burke. Missed that one three-pointer short to start. And now Reedy, who played well against Huntington last time, works his back to the basket. Great transition defense by HU, but then Northern worked it around far enough and scored an easy 2.
Yeah, and that's a little bit too easy of a look. That was a bad closeout on Jackson, got caught on the closeout, and Northern takes advantage of it.
Caden Johnson rolls and scores with his left.
That's a great play from KJ. He usually does more post up, but the pick and roll with Jackson Paul will always work.
It's interesting. This St. Francis team, they play at the second slowest pace in the entire conference behind Spring Arbor. Almodovar still firing and missing that one. Only points so far coming from the free throw line. Good defense there by Almodovar as he's guarding Goodline. I had to go ask Luke, how do you say your name before we called this game? And he helped me out, so very nice kid. Brouvier, Jackson Paul, 10 on the shot clock. JP uses the screen, bounce pass, Brouvier to Caden Johnson, big to big bucket.
And that's what they need to take advantage of. This St. Francis team is very small on the inside right now. With Brouvier and KJ right there, you can dominate in the paint.
Brandon Northern doubled again. They're really working hard. Sparks blocked it. There's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think he got the ball first and then the arm.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's really interesting. It's right on cue.
And you can see it right here. I mean, it was a good closeout, just a little too aggressive. Got the inside arm right here, which that is a foul. That's a foul I don't have a problem with. It's these ones, the high five fouls that are just a little too soft to be called.
And I think Coach Alford's even saying, I think he got the ball first there.
He definitely got the ball first,
and the whistle came. But that's the one I just don't know about. Like, he's still trying to follow through on his shot. Should he get rewarded because he's hit afterwards? I think it's the right call.
It's the right call.
It's just confusing to me.
Well, and it makes it a lot harder on the defenders because, you know, you're closing out, you're going fast, and you jump, your arm is going to have to come down. So it's like you have to block it and then move your arm at the same time to make sure you don't hit them, which is why closeouts are one of the hardest things to do as a defender. And he just didn't close out properly and got the foul called on him.
Another change in the lineup here as Burke makes all 3. His first 3 points. Carson Rogers in for the first time from Kokomo, Indiana. 6'6". That's the biggest player on the court right now. HU has 2 6'9" guys. Cade Brenner in for the first time as well. Brouvier with that size against Burke. Roman threw it too far. Goodline kept it in. Huntington's got to go. 10 on the clock. Goodline likes taking these tough shots. Good defense by Northern. Good pass from Goodline. Better offense.
Oh my goodness, that was such a smooth pass from Goodline right to Landon Jordan, the high flyer.
The defense now by Drew. He's playing with a ton of confidence here early. His brother Zach has joined the bench and has been electric for them, bringing so much energy. Huntington's just playing with all kinds of intensity. Here it is again. Northern Against Gizzy, nothing happening. Fry gonna have to force one. 2 on the clock, tough jumper, no good. Some of the best defense we've seen all year by HU.
Yeah, that was an amazing defensive possession.
Brenner, back to Drew. He'll keep shooting. That one's missed, nearly caught by Gizzy. Almodovar to the rim, good line, knocked it away again.
Drew, good line. What a defensive play.
Brenner fires, that's too strong. That is a shot you'd love to see Brenner make right here in front of us, but no good, and it's just a 9-point lead at the moment.
Drew Goodline down a little bit. He's winded as he's been hustling so hard, and he definitely took a hard hit there.
I think he maybe went into the bottom of the basket, the padded part of the basket.
That hurts.
And they're gonna check on him. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. He's hopping up pretty quick. But like you said, he was kind of like back and forth nonstop, both on offense and defense. He might just be a little gassed.
I saw him pointing to the coach like, hey, coach, I'm a little tired here. Can you call a timeout? So, I mean, he is such a hustler for this team. He does everything. You see him shooting last shot. I mean, look at this defensive play. That is amazing defense. I mean, to get back there and get your hand on all ball on one of the best scorers in Almodovar is crazy.
A couple more changes as Damari Hood is in for the first time out of Muncie, Indiana. Brandon Northern being guarded hard all night long. Rogers has the size against Gizzy. Jordan goes and doubles, nearly tipped away, and Brenner's going to be whistled for the touch foul. I mean, Huntington's defense, man, it's suffocating right now.
I mean, you love that play from Brenner here. You know, saw the chance for the loose ball, just the St. Francis player got to it first, or Northern got to it first, and Forrester's foul. But like you said, suffocating defense, not allowing St. Francis to get anything.
Burke open again. He's yet to hit one from the field. Has 3 points from the free throw line, but he's usually a knockdown three-point shooter, shooting 43% on the year. He's yet to open his tab yet. Bouvier and Jordan still in there together. Size advantage for HU. Sparks against the freshman Hood, rises over the top, misses. Bouvier fought for it. Rogers clears. Fry loses control. Brenner on the ground for a moment. Step-in jumper from Hood is short again.
Wow.
Rogers forces another tough one. Huntington really just dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, that is not a pass Landon Jordan needs to make there, but what a defensive reaction.
Gizzy will pull up. That's way too strong. Huntington's had some good chances to extend this lead even further. Yet to do it. Still up 9 after that nice start. Hood working against Jordan. Northern will have to get this offense going with 13 on the shot clock. Gizzy just locking up right now. Northern flips it. Burke will drive in. Fry launches a three, top of the key, and hits. That's a big response.
Well, they've needed an open look like that. They've been forced to take tough contested shots every time down the court with this Forrester defense on fire. And that's a huge shot for the Cougars.
Sparks has it back. A little bit of a slow start from the field. We know Lane will keep going, though. Has to force it out to Landon Jordan. Bouvier, good work inside and a tough bucket.
That is a beautiful shot, the little jump hook in the post. I mean, that's too easy for Bouvier.
Fry the second, coming off that three, works against Bouvier. Huntington's using their bigs to guard some of these point guards and other guards for St. Francis at the moment. Northern lost it. Brenner getting away from the rest of the crew, scores his first two, and it's the largest lead of the day for HU.
Now it's all Lane Sparks. He knows Northern's not a good shooter, so he's going to hesitate a little bit. So Lane did just enough to make him go up and lose the ball. That was great defense.
8:53 left in this first half. Fry in towards Jordan. Good defense. Bouvier clears. Huntington with numbers again. Sparks up top. Landon a little too tall.
Yeah, a little too tall from Lane there.
Fry goes towards Gizzy, and he's fouled on his way to the rim. And that is again going to take us to another media timeout. Back and forth we go. Huntington still up 10.
I'm Smai.
And we filmed a short documentary in South Korea. The documentary was telling the stories of North Korean defectors who escaped into South Korea. We really just wanted to highlight how important unification is for the countries.
One of my favorite moments was when we were cooked a traditional North Korean meal by one of the defectors.
Another really cool moment was that we had missionaries from the Netherlands, from the United States, and from Korea all in the same place. I'm working on this documentary together, and there was just like 3 different languages bouncing around all the time, and it was just like so.
Take a look at some live stats here. Huntington's still on fire. 10 of 18, 4 of 9 from deep, 3 of 5 from the charity stripe so far. 3 steals, 8 assists compared to 0 for the Cougars. And just those 2 turnovers on the other side, 33% for the Cougs from both the field and 3. Perfect from the free throw line, 3 turnovers. And HU, they're running their offense well. They had a hot start by Goodline, but they're mixing in some other guys as well.
Well, and what we really saw was their big men go to work, as this St. Francis team, without Isaiah Malone on the floor, they're generally a small ball lineup. They usually have, like you said, the tallest guy on the floor was 6'6". You have 2 6'9" guys in Landon Jordan and KJ, or Roman Brouvier and KJ, or Roman Brouvier and Landon Jordan. You can take full advantage of that and just destroy them in the paint, and that's what they were doing a little bit there.
It also starts with getting Malone in that early foul trouble as well. That was definitely helpful for HU because he's been playing like probably the best big man in the league. In fact, Newhoff, who is probably known as the best post player in the league, Malone went 2 spring over at 30 and 12 against him.
Yeah.
So he's that good, but with that foul trouble, he's just got to sit for the majority of this first half.
He's got so much of that raw talent that we saw with Elijah Malone, just a little too foul happy at times, which does limit him like we've seen so far.
I also think Isaiah might be a little more athletic. Maybe not as strong, but
Elijah was very big, while he's very athletic. So he definitely got a little bit more athleticism, but Elijah was just so big. He was just so dominant in the paint.
Jackson Gowdy going to check in. So this is their way to kind of work with the size of HU, 6'8", senior forward out of Indianapolis, Indiana. He went to Ben Davis, and in fact, so did Robert Fry II. Swing pass, Gizzy, wide open, fires a 3, and if they're going to leave him, you might as well shoot it.
And Max Gizzy, I mean, he's just too skilled to not make wide open threes like that. That was a defensive breakdown from the Cougars. You cannot leave any Forrester that open unless it's like Landon Jordan.
I'm telling you, Gizzy has been such a pleasant addition, as now Brenner's called for a tough one at the top of the key.
And that's an interesting call, because it looked like he stayed in his defensive alignment and just cut him off who was trying to go left, because he already established position, but apparently that was enough for a foul.
If you guys would like, leave a comment on our YouTube page today. We'd love to give you a shout out. Tell us where you're watching from. Say hello, whether you're a Cougars or Foresters fan. If you're a Cougars fan, you'd like to see Almodovar knock down some open shots. Hasn't quite yet. Sparks trying to answer. Tough triple in transition. Just can't get one of those to go yet.
Yeah, that's not the shot you want there. With that 2-on-1 fast break, you want a better look than that.
Goodline keeps it in. Almodovar gets it back, goes right to the rim. Another whistle. And again, Goodline's down behind the play as Caden Johnson just picked up his 2nd foul.
And again, an interesting call, because that's all contact initiated by Almodovar there. I mean, KJ has his hands straight up and just jumped, while Almodovar just jumps into him. I don't know how that's a foul on defense. If anything, that's just a good bucket. I don't understand why an and one was called there.
Feels like a couple of tough whistles, but at the same time, fouls are pretty even right now.
Yeah.
6 against HU, 4 against St. Francis. St. Francis has definitely lived at the free throw line, though, as that one rattles in and out. Feels like there's a lid on the hoop right now for Almodovar. He's the best scorer in the conference besides Lane Sparks.
Yeah. Well, another reason I think a lot of Forester fans don't like that call is because Lane Sparks does the exact same thing and doesn't get it. So it's like, well, what qualifies for that foul?
Using the size,
Wow.
Caden Johnson. This is what he did the last time against the Cougars. He worked to that strong left, went to that little dream hook, and it's tough to guard at 6'6". He's 3 for 3 with 6 already in this first half.
Well, he's also the tallest player on the floor. Any time he's on the floor against this Cougars team, he's taller. He can put the shots over them, and he does so right there and does it efficiently too.
Almodovar gets it back from Reedy. Luke now drives again. That's much better by Caden Johnson to make sure he's straight up. And then a foul at the end by Reedy. And that is the 5th on the Cougars. And Huntington starting to extend this lead a little bit. You would just love to get up 15, 17 before the break and then still keep the foot on the pedal to take care of business.
Well, Almodovar he's their biggest weapon on the offensive end. And right now the Foresters have just completely snubbed any chance he's had of scoring. I mean, they're making him work so hard for everything and making someone else beat them, which is what you need to do against this team. Make someone else besides Almodovar beat you.
Trying to run a set here to get Caden Johnson on the left block. They're looking to come help. Caden working, this time with his right.
Wow.
A tough bucket inside.
That is a pretty shot from KJ, and he is just killing the St. Francis defense inside, and that's what you got to do when you have when you have those matchups where you're just taller. Take advantage of it.
He's had some big games like this. You think about the Grace game, even though Huntington didn't win, and there's a block and another whistle against Huntington. And Caden Johnson's been the victim of 2 tough whistles now.
And I mean, I haven't agreed with all of the calls, but that is the definition of a bad call. That is a pure block. There is no foul there. There's marginal contact with a pure block. That is a little bit of a bailout there. But the refereeing has been pretty good so far this game. That is a tough blow for the Foresters.
I'm telling you right now, St. Francis, that's the only reason they're really staying in the game is the free throw line. They're now 9 of 10 from there. If they didn't have that going for them, it'd be a 20-point lead for HU.
HU would be up by 20 right now if they weren't at the free throw line. And that takes KJ, who's been on fire, out of the game with 3 fouls already. So that's huge for the Cougars.
And I still think Landon Jordan could provide that same type of thing because the size out there, they do have Gowdy, but he doesn't play all that often. He's been limited in conference play, 3 minutes in the last game against Huntington, so he's already surpassed that today.
And Landon Jordan's also just a little too skilled for him to guard him in there.
Foul inside right away as Jordan was working hard. And now St. Francis is 1 foul away from putting Huntington in the bonus. Got a couple of people tuning in. Tammy Gass from Seymour, Indiana today. Hello, Tammy. Always a common listener for us. Another person watching from Wabash. Big Sheed watching from Michigan says, let's go Cougars. Thanks for tuning in to FDN Sports. Jordan,
there it is.
right there, right on cue.
He is too skilled for him to guard him in there, and he just takes full advantage. He cannot guard Jordan down there in the paint. And the Cougars are going to find that out real quick, and they're going to have to bring in Malone.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, because their bigs cannot handle Caden Johnson, Landon Jordan, and Roman Brouvier. And this is depth that HU has never had in Corey Alford's tenure.
Well, I mean, we saw a little bit of this inside post game with Ben Hummerkaus a couple of years ago. He was really good with Landon Jordan, but right now, the Cougars need to find a way to stop the Foresters inside because they are struggling to guard their big men.
By the second, he checked back in. Rogers waiting at the scores table. I'm assuming he'd come in for Gowdy. Coach Lacrosse still has not gotten Malone back up. Burke fires another 3. Way short again. Drew Goodline has it.
The Cougars really just struggling from the field, not making shots that, like you said, he usually hits those shots, and he just is way off right now.
Landon Jordan's been facing up and putting it on the floor quite a bit here recently. Now he'll go back to the basket, spun, left hand, missed it again. Gowdy, a good recovery there to keep Jordan off the glass. Another one from Almodovar, and missed that one off the shot clock, and we're gonna take a break. This one's back and forth. Huntington up 13. They keep extending the lead when we come back on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
I can't talk.
36-23, just 6 of 21 for the field for the Cougars, and that is really a testament to HU's defense. That 9 of 10 right now for St. Francis, that's keeping them right in this game currently. You take a look, Huntington still 14 of 24 from the field. The only negative on that thing is 3 of 6 from the free throw line. We've seen that a few times this year.
Well, and like you said, a testament to HU's defense. The biggest telling stat of all of those is the Cougars have 0 assists on any of their shots, which means that they are playing stagnant offense. They're having to create their own shot. They're not moving the ball. There's no rhythm. There's no flow to their offense, and it is hurting them right now, and it's allowing HU to get out to this lead.
Jackson Paul has it on the left wing, bounced it in to Landon Jordan. It was kicked. Some updates around the league. Right now, Bethel's getting beat by 20 at Indiana Wesleyan. Grace is winning. So all of a sudden, Grace is going to be tied for the 1 spot. And Spring Arbor's losing. Yeah,
well.
And Huntington's going to be within a game of St. Francis for 3rd if they can win this one today. Izzy 2 triples this afternoon. Landon Jordan with a tough catch with that right hand. That's what he's been doing a lot of recently. Puts it on the floor, forces it up, whistle on Rogers, and Jordan 2 more free throws.
And Landon Jordan, this is what you want to see. You want to see him drive in there, get the contact. That is a foul. Get the contact. And then we want to see him make free throws. That's something he has struggled with his entire career, and he's been working on it, but he has to hit his free throws.
That one swirls in. He has been better, though, as of late, and this year, still right around 59%. But, man, for a while, it was 46, 47%.
Yeah, it was bad.
And in conference play, it's even better than that 58% mark. That time, it's 100%. And Huntington up 15.
And if he can start doing that, he's so large and athletic inside. He's going to get to the free throw line 9 times out of 10. And if he can make it, then Forrester's can get tons of free points from that.
Almodovar bumped again on his way. He's got an and-one opportunity as the lefty now starting to go to the rim instead of those jump shots.
And an interesting call. It looked like he maybe caught the hip of Landon Jordan, which was enough. Or once again, Landon didn't even put a hand on him. An interesting foul call that Almodovar drove in, and the ref decided to reward him for his drive to the basket.
That's just Jordan's first, though, as Luke finishes the 3-point play. And now Huntington has the ball again, still up 12. Like to continue to extend this lead. Landon Jordan had that tipped away. It was off Landon. And Coach Lacrosse and one of the officials is having a heated conversation. It's the same official that I believe threw Landon Jordan out of the game. So you don't want to mess with that guy.
Yeah. He will not hesitate to throw you out of the game.
Him and Chad Lacrosse just had a serious combo in front of us.
I don't know what the St. Francis coach is mad about, because they got the ball.
Jackson Paul bringing it back up the court. Nice little move by Northern to cut through the lane. A better find by Rogers. Now a 10-point game. Gizzy to Sparks. Brouvier with the size again. Had this same move last time. Missed that one, and it's yanked down again by Rogers. Northern working hard. Double by Jackson Paul, yanks it back out of there. Burke yet to get his offense going. An interesting lineup out there for St. Francis right now with some foul trouble. Almodovar going to go right back to work into the body of Brouvier. Gets it right back and scores the second time. Here comes a run from St. Francis.
And you knew they were going to make a run at some point. It's can the Foresters respond? So far on offense, they haven't been able to get a shot to go. They need to respond here.
Jackson Paul with a good find, and Brouvier's got 4 today.
And the big men continue to do damage inside against this Cougars team, as Cade Brenner a huge hustle play. That would have possibly been a dunk there for Rogers.
40-30. Sub for HU. Drew Goodline comes in. Jackson Paul out. Huntington's been subbing in and out quite a bit here. Now we got a 3 or 4 guard look with Bruvier out there as the big. Probably smart to keep Jordan on the bench here down the stretch to just keep him with 1 foul, because he's going to play big minutes down the stretch with Malone back in.
Absolutely. I mean, you need him to match up with Malone. Malone and Landon Jordan are very even when it comes to their matchup with the same type of player.
He keeps firing Almodovar, and that one is way off, and then it's picked up by Lane Sparks.
That's good defense.
Gizzy cuts through the lane. Back to Lane Sparks, who stops, pops from 15 and hits. That's a shot.
That is just way too easy for Lane Sparks. You cannot jump on that 3, because once he gets that mid-range, that's a guaranteed shot that's going to fall.
And that's
Lane Sparks.
such a quality shot compared to maybe that 3 that he would have fired at first. He's great at that shot, but that shot is so much more under control and off 2 feet. Northern drives in, stopped by Gizzy, swing pass. Almodovar continues to fire, and he's airballed 2 straight 3s. And Sparks down the lane, he's fouled, and a couple of free throws coming.
And you feel like you have to have that foul there, because that's the same type of foul they've been calling for St. Francis so far this entire game. So a fair foul call there for Lane Sparks, who does never shy away from contact. That is for an absolute fact. He is always getting body-to-body contact, getting arguably fouled that they're just not calling, and Lane Sparks gets rewarded here.
Almodovar just airballed 2 straight 3-pointers. And he's a 42% three-point shooter.
It's not like
crazy to see that.
It's not like, I can tell from what he looks like he's really frustrated, because he maybe feels like some calls haven't gone his way, even though they really have. And he just hasn't been able to get the shots that he's hoping for with this strong HU defense. And I think it's getting to his head a little bit, making him miss a couple of these open shots.
Ben Adams tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to FDN Sports today, Ben, as Sparks splits the pair. Peyton tuning in as well, checking to see Landon Jordan might be playing a little Fortnite. I'm assuming maybe tonight if they win. 13-point lead at the moment, as Huntington continues to turn up the defensive intensity. Probably the second. Gets Sparks off his case. Rebound lifted up in the air by Jordan, and it falls to Goodline. Couple key possessions coming HU's way. Jackson fouled on his way, and now 2 free throws for Jackson Paul as they're in the double bonus.
The coach not happy with his player, as he was not ready for that, and I mean, Jackson Paul is going to take advantage of that. He is a savvy veteran player in this league. He knows how to get to the free throw line.
Right now, Coach Lacrosse is going all the way down his bench, and a couple of times he has looked at his players and said, you guys just need to wake up. They didn't seem ready to go, and right now they seem to be a little sluggish, as it's now a 14-point lead for HU, and Jackson Paul can make it 15.
How about the substitution for the Foresters as well? Number 10 comes in. He hasn't gotten many minutes this year because of injuries. So a huge sub-in for him as he's getting some minutes.
Yeah, Kamani Smith played his most minutes in a game at Bethel. 7 minutes. He scored 2 points, had 2 rebounds, and when he was on the floor, Huntington was 100% in defensive rebounding. No offensive rebounds when he's been on the court. Hood wrapping around Burke. He's got it back. Gizzy got off his feet. Long floater. Tough shot in for Damari Hood.
And Gizzy's better. He has a better defensive instincts than that, as Gizzy very rarely breaks and jumps on shots like that, but got off his feet there, and that's too easy.
Jackson, 10-footer, pure.
That is his shot. Lane Sparks likes the pump fake to the top of the free throw line. And Jackson Paul loves those in the paint, fadeaway mid-ranges. If he can get to that, that is a guaranteed bucket for the Foresters.
Huntington shooting 61%. Hood feeling it. Second one in a row. No good. There's Kamani Smith, and a foul as well, as he's got a couple of free throws now.
Like you said, 100% in defensive rebounding. He jumps high.
Yeah. I mean, his head was above the rim going to get that one. We've been wondering maybe why he wasn't getting some of these minutes. If you're not getting shots to drop from Beagle and Brenner, it might be worth trying Kamani Smith out there, because he might be able to get to the rim, rebound for you, and he's been doing that the last 2 times.
And clearly, when the Foresters go to that to the big man lineup where they focus a lot more on their guys inside trying to score there, they're a lot more efficient on both ends of the court. So to have Kamani Smith to be able to do that stuff is really good.
And the refs are going to come take a look at the replay here as they want to make sure they got the foul on the right guy. So if we can go back to that last play, the refs will talk with the folks in the back and try to see if the coaching staff for St. Francis is arguing that it shouldn't have been on 21, but should have been on 0. Either way, it's a foul on St. Francis, but they want to check and see who the whistle was on. It looks like 21 did shove right there in the back, so I think that's probably the right call. We'll show you the replay here in a moment, but
looked like
who knows?
Looked like a shove, and I mean the reason why they want them to look at that is because Rogers is their backup center, and with Malone already having 2 fouls, you don't want your backup center to also have 2 fouls. So they're trying to get it on someone else. But I mean, I agree. I think there's a little bit of a push in the back there from Rogers that sent Kamani forward.
So 0 will be called for the foul. That's McNeil. So it wasn't on 21. It was on 0, McNeil, with that second shove. And so Huntington up 14. You can see the replay here if we can run it back a little further. Maybe.
Yeah, it looked like he jumped into Kamani while he was in the air, which is a foul.
Yeah, so 21's a little further behind the play.
He had a little bit of arm in there, but it wasn't enough to really like make a huge call like that. So it's definitely that's the right call.
So Kamani Smith just 2 for 2 from the free throw line on the season. Puts his 3rd up and in. He's gonna start winning some fans over here because he plays hard and he is one of the best on-ball defenders you'll find. The best part of him, 6'5", great athlete.
I mean, he's part of this HU depth that we talked about a little bit. They have so many good defenders, guys who can jump, guys who can rebound, make the right play, and Kamani Smith is another one of those players.
Huntington, if they can get one more stop here, will feel pretty good heading into the halftime break, up 16. Ties their largest lead of the afternoon. Almodovar, quiet day offensively, goes into Brouvier, forces one up. Huntington could get one final shot, and it's a good thing that Coach Alford got a timeout off because it would have been an interception turnover. We'll see instead what Coach Alford can draw up here before the half. Just a 30-second timeout. Huntington with 5.9 seconds left. Even if they have the ball under their own basket, you can take full dribbles to get all the way to the rim here, and I'm sure that's what's going through that huddle at the moment.
Well, I'm sure what they're going to do is they're going to put 2 big guys out there and let one get a post shot, see if they can get it to 50 points for the half.
We'll see if Huntington can get something going towards the rim and score in a quick fashion. They have to, with just 6 seconds remaining. Pretty perfect first half in a lot of ways for HU. Maybe a few too many free throws missed, 4 turnovers. They average around 8. I mean, 5 of 11 from the charity stripe. You make 3 more of those and you feel even better about the lead.
Absolutely.
Let's see where Huntington goes. That's what you work on and practice all week.
Give it to Drew Goodline, maybe.
Gizzy getting all the way to the rim. Gonna force it up. Not in time. It's blocked anyways. And that's going to take us to the halftime break. Huntington leads by 14. Much better half than the last time they faced St. Francis. And when we come back, we'll tell you more about the first half and get the second half going for you as well.
Scene 3, take 4, A only. Mark.
3, 2, 1, take off!
Hi, my name's Grace. I'm best boy grip on this short film.
I am wardrobe.
I am hair and makeup.
Props master. Set's been pretty good. I think we've definitely, over the past 3 days, we've definitely gotten better.
It's fun seeing everyone together and working hard, and it's really cool to see the professionals doing what they're doing.
It's been a lot of fun getting the shots. Just kind of
being creative and figuring out where to like fit the boom in shots, you know, and like work around what camera's doing. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that though. It's been fun.
I'm in a department that I haven't been in before. I feel like it helps me get a more well-rounded experience.
I was on both feature films that we shot, and now this, and I finally feel like I know what I'm doing, and I'm just having a great time.
The students are doing a great job, you know, getting in there, learning new things.
For several weeks, students have been working in pre-production in their various areas to then link up with mentors that come from all around the country as professionals and then mentor our students on set. And to watch our students rise up to the occasion, that's Capstone, that's the living classroom.
Overhill is a family inspiring comedic type story.
These are characters that are compelling and exciting and full of heart.
Shield shall be splintered.
I haven't ever really done film acting before, and just getting to do this, getting the chance to do this was awesome, and I love doing it. Every second of it was just really fun.
I'm Lily, and I'm playing Bonnie. She's really fun. She's a new kid in town, and I've been that kid a lot of times, so it's easy to connect with her.
Tolkien.
It was a lot of fun being Seth, because Seth is kind of an idiot, and so it's just been a lot of fun to just sort of goof off.
No college necessary.
We got a lot of really good performances. I was tearing up just watching the dailies today, so I'm really excited about it. It seems like we're in a good place.
It felt very good. I feel very happy with what we got. The performances were just fantastic.
I definitely would say that this gave me a taste of what it would be like being able to work with pros.
It's been awesome to see the growth in just 2 days. I want to just keep learning as much as I can while it's easy to do, you know.
We're going to tell a good story here, and it's going to be very fun, very entertaining, and more importantly, hopefully inspire us to get into that feature film next year.
You're here sooner than I expected. What you took from me was unforgivable, but you made it so easy. You'll pay for what you did.
That's it, boys. Neither of you get it. Besides, no sugar before bed.
It's too late. No going back. Olympiad is about to begin.
Welcome back in Platt Arena. It's 48-34 as we get ready to start this second half. Huntington shoots 58.6% from the field, 5 of 11 from deep, 9 of 14 from the free throw line, 3 steals, 11 assists, just those 4 turnovers. St. Francis did not shoot it well, 11 of 31, 2 of 12 from deep, as you see there, 10 of 11. That kind of kept them in that first half. Overall, though, HU's defensive pressure was amazing, especially early in that half. But their offense was lights out most of that 20 minutes that we just played.
And the total stats also paint a clearer picture on some of them that aren't shown on the screen right now, which is the rebounding. Forrester's winning the rebounding by 7 rebounds, including the defensive battle. They're destroying St. Francis in defensive rebounds. They're destroying them in assists, clearly 11-1. They have more bench points, more second chance points, more points in the paint. They're shooting better from the field. They have only 1 more turnover, but the same amount of points off turnovers. So it's just an overall just rock steady game for the Fortress. It's not their best game of the season, but it's just been a really solid game for them. Meanwhile, St. Francis is really struggling.
We'll see if they can continue that defensive pressure. Luke Almodovar, he really struggled in that first half. He did end up shooting 5 of 14, but a lot of that came late. He only made the 1 3-pointer, just 1 of 6 from downtown. But he's going to keep going, and he will find ways to start getting buckets. He's a really talented scorer, so Huntington's got to keep an eye on him. Give you some updates around the league. Bethel is nearly up 30 at Indiana Wesleyan. That is, or excuse me, Indiana Wesleyan is nearly up 30 against Bethel at IWU. And then Grace is going to beat Spring Arbor by 14, it looks like. Goshen and Mount Vernon, they're underway. Don't have a live score on that currently. Taylor beat Marion, and then Huntington up here. It's not out of the realm of possibility for Huntington becoming the 3rd spot in the conference, as we've got Coach Corey Alford joining us now. Got to be pretty happy about that first half. Coach, really good first half there. The defensive intensity right out of the gate was incredible. What was the message to your guys to pick that back up here to start this second half?
Yeah, I think it's just duplicating the same 20. Held them to 1 assist, did a good job just going inside. We out-rebounded them. And really did a good job not fouling. We only fouled 7 times, and they best in the conference at getting to the free throw line. So they're going to come at us. They're going to be attacking downhill, but hopefully the same level of intensity and focus on the defensive end.
All of your bigs were really good in that first half as well. What did you see from those 3 guys that helped you grow this 14-point lead?
Yeah, it's a luxury we have to be able to rotate. I thought Kamani's minutes, even late, were big time for us. But when you have foul trouble, you got different mismatches. It gives us a little versatility on different things we can do on ball screens. But happy with how all 4 of those guys played in the first half.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll see you afterwards. Huntington up 14. Coach Corey Alford obviously very happy about his team's performance so far, and he should be. And it was really fun to watch Kamani out there get a few minutes there at the end of the half, but I thought the minutes with Prouvier and Johnson, those 2 swinging some passes together in tight quarters, that is where that run kind of started for Huntington to extend their lead.
Well, it especially started with KJ. KJ was getting inside, he was getting post positioning, and no one on the St. Francis squad stood a chance of guarding one of his post moves. He's skilled inside, he has good footwork, he's got a really good soft baby hook shot that is unguardable against players that are 3-4 inches shorter than him. So for St. Francis, having their tallest player, Isaiah Malone, out for the entire first half, he played for like the first 5 minutes and then was out the rest of the half. To get dominated in the paint like that, you feel like they're going to either have to double team and get a kick out for an open 3, or they're just going to have to play Isaiah Malone an absurd amount of minutes, which is unlikely.
If we could do a survey on the live broadcast, I would do it, because this is one of the most unique stats I've seen all year long. Huntington puts up 48 points. They had 9 players play in that first half. All 9 scored 2 or more points. You can't ask for much better than that. I mean, the production was great. Caden Johnson led the way with 8. Drew Goodline had 8 as well. Sparks with 8. Gizzy 6. Jordan 6. Prouvier 4. Jackson Paul 4 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 for Brenner, 2 for Smith. That is what you call a balanced attack, as we are back in action. And right away, looks like the shot clock never started, so we might just have to start over. You know, I went to the game at St. Francis, and their shot clock operator struggled the entire game. It was like every possession they had to go look at the shot clock again. And we've got this one sorted out now with 25 on the shot clock, 9:55 remaining in the game.
And he is going to be ultra aggressive. His shooting slump he had in that first half, I would not expect him to have another one of those. He will be on fire, and so will likely the St. Francis squad.
They have Malone out there right away to start this second half as well. Almodovar thought about the 3 right away, and then they threw it out of bounds as Gizzy was playing tough D inside.
And, I mean, you saw Isaiah Malone get that get that matchup with Gizzy, and they're trying to get it in, but Almodovar just passed it a little too high.
Gizzy maybe had that arm of Malone
Yeah,
as well,
bit.
holding on. Malone hasn't scored in this game, though, and as mentioned, he's got 20+ in 4 of his last 6. Trying to look for Jordan inside. Good line fires instead. Too strong. Jackson Paul had eyes on it, but it's right into the hands of Zane Berg. Again, Malone and Gizzy fighting. They're going to let Northern shoot the 3. That's the goal right now. Pass inside. Malone rises and dunks his first 2 of the afternoon.
And they're going to look to do that because the Foresters punish them inside. St. Francis is going to try and do the same thing here.
Good line, rolls, finds Gizzy in the corner. That's his favorite spot. Missed that one. Jordan nearly yanked it down, but lost possession. Northern spins, falls. Reedy there and catches. He's got the size on Sparks. Dave Berg real quiet in that first half as well. Malone against Jordan. Tapped that one away. Nearly grabbed it and tapped it right back into St. Francis's basket.
Man, and I mean, that was good defense from Jordan, and I mean, that is a very rare thing that you never really see that often, but goes in, and that's free bucket for St. Francis.
Now Jackson blocked at the rim, and fighting for a loose ball is Jordan. And they're going to keep it with Landon and the Foresters on possession.
Well, I think the reason they did that is because they didn't call the foul on Isaiah Malone. If it was a foul on Isaiah Malone for the way he was boxing out, they just were like, instead of giving him a foul, they're just going to give Foresters the ball.
Sparks tough too, and hits.
He is also going to be trying to get going here in this second half. He didn't have probably as many points as he wanted to in that first half. He's going to look to score more.
Jordan and Malone fighting hard, and now an offensive foul. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't come and look at this one.
Yeah, that was to the neck. That is a flagrant foul.
They're going to. Malone might be in trouble here, as they'll have to come and look at the replay on this one. We'll keep it here and kind of explain what's going on, but they're going to take a look and see if Elijah Malone put that elbow into the face of Landon Jordan.
That's what I saw, not even the face, the neck. It looked like he hit him side of the neck right here as he was trying to post up. Has the elbow a little too high and just caught the neck of Landon Jordan. That is a flagrant foul.
So we'll see how the officials see it. It's 50-38. We'll keep it here as the refs try to sort this one out. Looks like they've got connection looks like they've got connection with replay at the moment. And that's probably the best look right there. We'll show it to you again in a second. I continue to think that the people at home can see the replay, but they're actually seeing the officials. We've got a new monitor here with a little difference, so we can actually see the court above the monitor. So the officials go to the larger one. I don't know, can we feed that replay into, here we go. So Malone's right elbow against Landon Jordan catches him right in the jaw.
Right here.
And that's what they're trying to check out. So this is what the refs are currently looking at. Watch it one more time through. They try to feed it in, and Malone swings that right arm, and Jordan does get hit in the face. I think it's a flagrant foul.
I mean, that's right here. There is no doubt in my mind that's a flagrant foul. Anything above the torso is a flagrant foul. You're not allowed to hit people there.
So we'll wait and see if that is the end result.
I also don't think it was an intentional flagrant foul.
But that doesn't necessarily matter.
That doesn't matter. It's still a flagrant foul.
So we'll wait and see what the final decision is. I think they want you to reach over and turn that monitor off if you can, Ryan. So the foul is definitely on Isaiah Malone. Whether it's flagrant or not will be announced to us here in just a moment. Refs actually didn't give us a heads up yet. Okay, so it is a flagrant one on Malone. So 2 free throws coming for HU, and then they will get the basketball as well. So Jordan does shoot the free throws. Malone has 3 already, and there's still 18 minutes left.
Yeah, he's got to be ultra careful to not draw that 4th here early, because that's going to put him out for at least 10 minutes if he does that.
Jordan, perfect again. 3 for 4 now from the charity stripe today.
That's big for the Foresters. He usually doesn't make 3 for 4, and usually it's 2 for 4, so it's nice to see him hit a little bit more here.
More for Jordan. He goes perfect on the pair, and now Huntington has the basketball. This could be a big swing in the game because it felt like St. Francis was getting a little closer and starting to grab some of that momentum.
Yeah, they definitely had some momentum with Isaiah Malone scoring a couple of times. They were getting the shots they were wanting while the Foresters weren't able to make anything, but right there, that just kind of slowed all the momentum down that they had.
Drew Goodline, Gizzy, Lane Sparks, Jackson Paul, and Landon Jordan, who's got it back, turns. That's his 4th foul on
that's
Malone.
what you do.
And he's going to have to take a seat again.
That's exactly what you do in that scenario. Get their best player his 4th foul. He's gone for at least 10 minutes now. And now you can just go straight back to that big man mismatch that the Foresters feasted on the entire first half.
And they're not even going to go with a real big next. They're going to go with Damari Hood, who's 6'4".
Yeah, so now I'm fully expecting Landon Jordan or whoever is playing center to just eat up all of the real estate inside that they're going to have now, having extreme mismatches.
So Malone has to take a seat. Landon Jordan keeps knocking in free throws. How about 5 of 6 from there today? Such a big boost.
That's the improvement that we've always wanted to see from him, is from the free throw line. So it's really nice to see that.
Jordan misses that one. Still a good rate so far today. It's a 15-point lead for the Foresters. Joe Reedy being guarded by Landon Jordan. Almodovar, 5 of 14 in that first half from the field. Reedy, the size advantage. Here comes the double. They find Northern, who scores, and a chance for a 3-point play.
That was a tough shot from Northern, but Lane Sparks got just enough of the arm and forced it up and put it in. That was a really nice shot from Northern.
You almost think on that one, back off, don't foul, just let him have the bucket, because now Sparks picks up his 2nd. Obviously not a big deal. He is going to check out here. But give him the easy 2 and then move on to the next possession. Sparks stays in the game.
Well, and you see right there why they took him out of the game is so they can bring in Bruvier and have that extreme mismatch in the paint.
Rebound tipped up by Jordan again, nearly in the hoop, and that time Bruvier was able to grab it.
And you're going to look to Bruvier right there on Burke. That's the matchup that you want to take advantage of if you're the Foresters.
They're trying to get it to him right now. Big to big here. Jordan's feeling real confident at the moment. Spins, takes a tough shot at it, blocked by Reedy. Maybe a little too long to get that one up towards the hoop. Burke and Northern. Main guards out there right now taking care of the ball. Good, doesn't get it. Almodovar does. He's going against Max Gizzy, who fouls Luke, who will shoot 2.
The fouls starting to pile up in a row here on the Foresters. Found a little too much, but he right there. Maybe a little bit of the arm for Gizzy, so that's a good call.
Almodovar, most of his scoring from right here today. The free throw line's been his friend as he knocks in the first. One more coming. Huntington's going to ditch the 2 bigs right now. And Lane Sparks is back in. Almodovar, this is another. Bruvier able to grab it as Reedy's called for another personal. Just a couple of fouls from both teams that don't make a whole lot of sense to me.
There's a couple of these times where they're reaching in when they don't need to and just drawing unnecessary fouls, especially when you have you're the most important player out of the game with 4 fouls. To get those little nitty-gritty fouls and just a quick little reach in, it's just not worth it.
So Bruvier, the big in now. He gets it from Max Gizzy. Good catch, and then forces a bad pass to Northern. Northern spins coast to coast. Bruvier, another rebound. Huntington has numbers. Gizzy to Goodline, back to Max. Good ball movement here by HU. Need a good look. Jackson gets in the air and threw it away 2 times in a row.
And when you get in the air like that, you're forced into bad passes. That's bad offense from Jackson Paul.
Hood gets the foul called on Brouvier, and free throws coming again for St. Francis.
An interesting call there. It looked like Brouvier just bet him at the rim like supposed to, but the big men on the Forcers have not gotten the benefit of the doubt when it comes to these calls so far.
It's Roman's first. Hood misses. A couple of missed free throws now as Brouvier is going to check out. Caden Johnson, who had those third fouls in the first half, is going to come in. He dominated the basketball game when he was in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they bring him in. There's no one on this St. Francis squad that can guard Caden Johnson. He's too tall and too skilled for them to compete in the paint.
Hood splits the pair. Huntington up 11, but it's been a while since they've had a real good look at the basket over the last few minutes. Sparks comes and gets it. Goes to his right, falls away, and hits another tough jumper.
And that is what he does really well. Those tough jumpers, he's so good on that in that mid-range.
Reedy goes into Johnson, loses him, and missed a wide open layup.
And the ref missed a travel there as well, left his pivot foot before he even dribbled the ball.
Jackson Paul weaving in and out. We'll start it over with Drew Goodline at the volleyball line, approaching our first media timeout of the half. Drew to Lane, just hit a tough one, takes another one, fouled, and he's got a chance for 4.
And that is the type of foul that he never gets either. That is very clearly a shooting foul, and he just does not get the benefit of the doubt most of the time, and finally gets the call there and makes it and one. Not a tough shot from Lane Sparks.
I cannot remember an HU player in history of watching, and I've been watching since 2001, 2002, who has as many 4-point plays as Lane Sparks.
Yeah.
He's had 3 or 4 just this season alone, and now he's really getting it going up to 16. He's got 6 on the last 2 possessions. Joe Reedy hands it off to Almodovar. St. Francis's lefty now has a chance for another one at the free throw line.
And the marginal contact once again sends Luke to the line.
And Coach Corey Alford not happy with someone defensively, as it looks like he's talking to Jackson Paul, and when we come back, we'll see how the Foresters respond. Still up 15 with 15 left.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Back in the Platte, they're doing the Lad Dental Smile Cam. A couple of fans having a good time and a lot of smiling faces in Platte Arena because the Foresters played really well today. And Lane Sparks just does it over and over again. I met with Corey Alford yesterday, and he said, you know, people come up to me and say, you know, Lane didn't have his best game, or Lane hasn't had his best stuff recently. What's going on? He said, you are never going to have a game where Lane Sparks scores 4 or 5 points. Like 16's his bottom. And he said that is something that not many people can do. So he says he kind of shrugs that off and thinks, you know, Lane's going to get his, and he's up to 16 already in this one.
And Almodovar continues his poor shooting right now. Only shots he's really making are right at the paint.
Sparks has 6 straight in the last 2 possessions. You don't hear that a whole lot. Lane holding on to it. Had some space to pull. Now he will on the second chance. In and out. Caden Johnson rebounds. Trying to spin to the rim. Couple of defenders around him, and it's the Caden Johnson show right now.
And like I said, they cannot guard Caden Johnson in the paint. They have no one on this floor for the Cougars that has even a remote chance of guarding KJ in the paint.
He's 5 for 5, and now Caden Johnson rebounds well. And is this going to be on the Foresters?
On Caden Johnson.
That is a terrible call.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That is not a good call. I mean, the contact, I mean, you can watch on the replay, the contact was completely initiated by Reedy. He just ran into it. He ran into him. There's no reason to call that foul.
Also, once again, ball don't lie. He waited to see if the shot was going to go in and then called the foul. That was a poor call.
As a Pacers fan, we call that the Denary call is what it's called. It's the call that if it goes in, that's not a foul, but because he missed it, it's a foul call. And that's just not, I've never thought that was a good call.
Well, there you go. At the end of the day, the ball don't lie, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Kristen Airy. Well, Huntington fouls the right guy as Joe Reedy, 71% on the year. Couldn't get either one to go. Good line. Cuts to the rim. Finds Gizzy. Likes that corner three. Back to Drew. Replaces him. Fires. Hits. Biggest lead of the night.
And there's the 20-point lead. I mean, it's been so close to the Foresters being up by 20 almost the entire game. I'm not surprised they're up by 20 now.
Almodovar misses again right at the rim. Huntington a chance to extend. Drew thought about pulling. I thought he was going to.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Probably a good decision to slow it down, milk some of this clock. Huntington's returning the favor to what St. Francis did to him in the first matchup. Gizzy up top, Jordan!
Up top and down hard, Landon Jordan, what a beautiful dunk, and the coach does not like to see that, and he calls an instant timeout.
Coach Lacrosse needs a timeout. It's a 22-point lead for the Foresters, and right now, HU can do no wrong on the offensive end.
Yeah, that is just a beautiful drawn-up play. That's exactly what you want, and the fans love it here.
We'll take a break. It's going to turn into a media timeout. Huntington 66, St. Francis 44.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Back in Platt Arena for the final 13-20, and the hot shooting for HU's maybe slowed down a little bit, Ryan, but they're feeling good offensively again here in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, their offensive flow right now is just too much for St. Francis to handle. They've got the inside-outside presence on the offensive end. They have the shooters knocking down their shots. They have their big men scoring in the paint. And right now, St. Francis feels like they don't have any method of stopping the Foresters when they're trying to score, and they have to figure something out fast.
Huntington shot 35% at St. Francis. That is by far the worst on the year. And Coach Corey Alford said that might have been kind of a fluke. We ran our sets well, we defended well. They just made a lot of tough shots, and today it's kind of the opposite. Hood, three, way off. Good line, able to keep it in. Drew's always on the prowl, up top. Jordan, they were trying to lift the roof off of this place.
And if he made that, you might as well sign the deal that this game's over. If he made that, there'd just be too much momentum for them. But
I don't love that in a three-point game, but up 22, that's a pass I think I'm okay with at the moment. Catch inside, Rogers finds Hood, drives in, floats a 10-footer up. Nice little touch. He's made 2 of those today.
Yeah, and that seems to be the shot that he's the most comfortable with. That little floater going in twice. maybe try to see if he can get some more of those.
Pretty solid freshman from Delta High School in Muncie, Indiana, averaging 7 points per game. Gizzy up and under, scores it.
Like I said, they're getting anything they want on the offensive end. The Cougars just have no answer for anything the Forsters are throwing at them.
Almodovar thought about pulling a three. Hood working hard,
Oh.
steps back from three. No good again. There's Jordan. Landon off the lane, back to Landon, to the rim for 2 more.
Landon Jordan really having a great game for the Forsters, up to 13 points right now. And he is absolutely annihilating this Cougar interior defense.
You know, this crew with Brandon Northern and some of these other guys, Almodovar, the last time they played, that was the first time they've ever beat Huntington in their career.
Yeah.
Brandon Northern was, I think, 0 for 6 against Huntington, and Jordan just scared Rogers out of that one, and he kicked it out of bounds.
And they're bringing in Bruvier and Kamani Smith and Jackson Paul. Kamani getting a little bit more run time here, especially when you're up 24 points.
Jordan giving him a look over on the St. Francis bench, letting him know he's here today, and he has been. He's played really well.
I'm sure it's a little looking at Isaiah Malone over there, because they've always had a little bit of a rivalry every time that they play. They always want to beat each other. So I'm sure Landon Jordan is really happy he's beating him right now.
Sparks to Smith, trying to find a cutter. It's Brenner who is right into the game. Too strong. Kamani nearly chased it down, but it's picked up by Northern. This is what Kamani can do. He can guard a smaller, faster guards. He's got that strength. Tough pass, cross court. Burke, Northern, off the dribble. Good defense by Sparks. Pass it to Reedy. Rouvier didn't even know it was there, and he's called for a foul.
Yeah, and that was a good play from the Cougars right there. Bruvier was too focused on the ball, thought he was going to put it up, and didn't even realize that his defender had it, or his player had it. So
I've
good
got
play.
a few shout-outs I want to give real quick.
Yeah,
I've
go
got
ahead.
Tyler Green, who's one of my best friends, huge Forester fan, tuning in. His mom, Shannon Fallbush, is with him, tuning in as well. So I want to say hello. They're watching from Nashville, Tennessee today. My father-in-law, Chris Woosley, tuning in as well in Rockport, Indiana. Happy to see that the Foresters are leading. I told him, I called him earlier, and my wife and I were talking on FaceTime with our little baby, and I said, this is a big game for HU,
Yes.
so you need to tune into this one.
Well, both games for both men and women
Yes.
were big games, and women's game was probably a little more, it was definitely a lot tighter than this one, but both games still entertaining and fun to watch.
Sparks, hard drive, forces it up with the left hand. There's Kamani Smith again, who looked like he might have been knocked on the arm, but still playing so hard inside and grabbing these loose balls.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
I really like his play style, because he's not necessarily, you know, this flashy offensive weapon like someone like Drew Goodline, but the effort plays and the stuff that he does that just doesn't really get, as he just laid out Reedy. Wow, he just laid him out.
Sparks with a tough bucket. Reedy went down.
Possibly may have gone him on the face a little, or no, I mean, no, that's a no call right there, and that's just a good bucket.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this
Just
one
took
will
a
be.
hard fall.
Yeah, they're going to come look at it, though, and see if Sparks should be called for another one. And so they're going to want to see a replay for that. There's no foul on the floor, so they're going to come and see if it needs to be updated to a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2. It's definitely not a flagrant 2, but there is a possibility it could be a 1. We'll see. It's a tough bucket, and Sparks did kind of put that arm out, but I'm not exactly sure.
It hit the torso, though, which is, or it hit the arm. It didn't hit the head.
We'll show you right here. If we can spin it back here in just a second, I'm sure they'll want another look at it.
Yeah, because it looked like what happened was he used his other arm to push the arm away of Reedy so that he could get that shot off, which a lot of players do. That's not rare to see. But the arm.
Yeah, it was the arm.
It was the arm. It was like the armpit area. So I definitely think that it's just a no call. It's just a bucket. And, I mean, obviously hard falls are going to hurt.
Yep.
So
they're looking to see. I think
Good
Reedy
for
might
Reedy.
have a bloody nose, or maybe it's his mouth. But even with the follow through, I don't think there was enough forcible contact there to be a flagrant. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know how they'll see this one.
Well, we'll find out here in a second. But I think that that's just a basketball play. He just put the ball in, took a hard fall, which, I mean, it sucks that you have to take a hard fall and they still get the points. But, I mean, that's what happens sometimes.
Wait and see if there's going to be a decision. I think that they're just going to play on is what I heard from one of the officials. Once again, I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure if that's the end result. I do think we're going to have to turn the monitor off again, though, Ryan. I know it's extra work for you.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
So Lane Sparks has a bucket at the moment. 72-48. Our new replay system's nice because we don't have to communicate with the refs at all. They can talk right to the back. Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
That's a tough one. So a flagrant foul on Lane Sparks' call.
I mean, it's obviously kind of hard to tell from that angle, but maybe his arm hit the chin, maybe, of Reedy. I think it may have hit the chin. And so that because he hit the chin, it was enough. Because, I mean, there was definitely arm contact. I mean, that was very visible. But
I can tell you this much. They're not showing the replay in here for good reason.
Yeah, a little bit of a shaky call. But
so Sparks loses the 2 points. That's his third foul. And Burke now gets to shoot 2 free throws. And St. Francis will have the ball.
I mean, if this was a closer game, I think that it would be a little bit, like, choreographer would be a lot more upset about that. But when you're up 20 plus, I mean, yeah, it sucks that that call got overturned and maybe not the best call. But, you know, you can live with it when you're up 20.
So it's going to be a 22-point lead. They're trying to decide who's going to shoot these free throws at the moment, as the sub has to shoot the ball. So it'll be Hood who shoots the free throws, as he just checked into the game, knocked down the first. Sparks, as mentioned, that's our second flagrant one of the game. And it's now a 21-point lead. Hood, perfect on the pair. He's been pretty good here off the bench today. Cuts it to a 20-point lead.
He's given them some good minutes on the floor. He's made 2 really nice floaters. He's made his 2 free throws. He's given them a nice little boost.
So a couple of subs for St. Francis. We've had some long stoppages in this game.
They also have Isaiah Malone in, which is kind of risky. I mean, I guess you kind of need a push
you
now.
have to go for it.
But if he gets one more foul, he's done.
He's just got 2 points, just 1 rebound today. Malone against Jackson Paul inside. And now a 3-second call on Malone.
I thought they called the foul for a second. I was like, wow, there it is. But yeah, he was in the paint there for a very long time trying to get that positioning against Jackson Paul.
Jackson Paul and him were battling hard anyways. And Chad Lacrosse has got a tee. He's been working on it all day long. I told you he's been working on it all day long. That same official. I knew that was going to happen at some point.
Yeah, he's been drawing a little bit too much the entire game. I mean, obviously in a game that's very frustrating like this, where you're down 20, you want your team to win, and you can get frustrated with some calls sometimes. But when you talk constantly pestering the ref, you will likely get a technical.
And I'm telling you, that is the one ref on the court you cannot talk to.
No.
I even mean that from the Forrester side.
Yeah.
Because he will tee you up. He's the one that threw Landon Jordan out of a game. He's quick with the technicals, and that's something coaches have to know. If you want to speak with the other 2 officials, they're probably going to take it a little better, but you cannot talk to the taller official because he will tee you up. That's just something you notice.
I mean, it's a trend that happens when he announces games. You got to be careful, and coach just wasn't careful enough.
So Lacrosse gets teed up. Sparks comes off the screen. That one's too strong. Rebound falls to Burke. Malone through the lane, dunks it with one hand.
And what they need to do is they need to attack him, make him foul, make him work on defense, because if you can draw that last foul on Isaiah Malone, then the rest of this game is light work.
Bruvier couldn't get the and one opportunity. He'll have 2 free throws instead. 72-52. Landon Jordan coming to the scores table, and we'll take a break. It's the under 10 media timeout. Huntington still up 20.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
"20-point lead for the Foresters with 9:43 left. It's been all Huntington. And this game's become a little more aggressive over the last few minutes. Coach Lacrosse with a technical foul, and now a couple of free throws coming from Bruvier. It's been physical all afternoon, and that's kind of what you expect from two teams separated by 25-30 miles.
Well, and also from two teams that just play a physical brand of basketball. They like to play physical, especially the Foresters, who are a very physical offensive and defensive team. So you knew it would get heated a little bit here, and it's definitely lived up to the expectation.
So Bruvier is at the stripe. Not his biggest strength on the season, but does knock down the first. Just 42% from the charity stripe on the year.
Yeah, not the greatest season you would expect from him from the free throw line, but he just does so much on the rest of the floor that you can feel okay with him not making all his free throws.
So Malone pulls down another rebound. Bruvier stays at 5 points. You'll take that off the bench from him, though. He struggled a little bit on the offensive end recently. Much better today. Northern picked up by Goodline. Almodovar finally gets open again. Still just nothing for him.
Yeah, he is definitely on the struggle bus when it comes to shooting in this game, and that has hindered this Cougars effort.
He's got 17, but it has taken him a lot of shots to get there and a lot of free throws as well. Gizzy using the screen from Roman. Now Drew gets it to Jackson Paul. JP gets to a spot, fires, too strong. Bruvier was fighting for it, and it's going to be a foul on Roman, who went over the top.
Roman in the back on number 11, Roman Bruvier.
1-and-1. And it looks like it'll be Almodovar who heads to the free throw line for the 1-and-1. He's actually missed a few from there as well.
Yeah, he's definitely been struggling from just overall shooting, but he's still impacted this game. The leading scorer for the St. Francis Cougars. I mean, he's still been a very impactful player for this team. I mean, good scorers are going to get their points, but yeah, he's really struggling.
Missed another free throw, and that could almost count as 2. Just 6 of 17, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Make it 4 of 8. Turnover. Northern running right back at Landon Jordan, who stops the ball. Robert Fry finds his point guard in Brandon Northern. Malone, size inside, turns, spins, uses the right on the left side to score another 2.
I'm surprised the Foresters haven't gone to Landon Jordan yet on Isaiah Malone, trying to get him to foul. I mean, because Isaiah Malone's kind of giving them a little bit of momentum right now. Just take that away by getting him out of the game.
Goodline gets it to Sparks on that left side, lobs it up. Landon caught it and was fouled, I think, on the shot.
And he's gone.
See, and it's on Isaiah Malone, whose day was kept very short today by the Foresters.
I mean, only 6 points, 2 rebounds. Definitely one of his worst games of the season, for sure.
You're doing that on the Forester side. You're feeling pretty good about the afternoon you had.
Yeah.
He has been playing really good basketball. Now he sits for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I would definitely argue that's his worst game of the season with the way he's played today. The Foresters have just really taken advantage of his I don't want to say like his instinct to foul, but he definitely does foul quite often.
Jordan rattles in the first. He's got another one coming.
Second leading scorer behind Lane Sparks. Really impressive free throw shooting from Landon Jordan.
20-point lead for the Foresters once again. Landon with 14, 7, and 1 today. Biggest number might be the one foul.
Yeah. He usually at least has 2, 3, 4 fouls. So the fact that he still only has 1 is pretty impressive from Landon Jordan, who can be considered as a hothead a lot.
Also, Northern only with 8 points. He had 21 in the first game between these two teams. Jordan, great defense. Almodovar forces another. Gowdy there, blocked by Landon. Foul again, and Jordan's heading back to the free throw line. This is the most locked in and aggressive I have seen Landon Jordan on the defensive rebounds today. He is just a different player right now.
Well, and he, right there, player went straight back up, and he just gobbles up that rebound. There's no chance, and reaches, and like we was talking about, those unnecessary reach-ins that some of these players are doing just gets Landon Jordan 2 free throws.
Jordan, 1-and-1 opportunity. No one knew it. Literally no one knew that was a 1-and-1. They're all just standing there, but he ripped in the first anyways.
8 out of 10, 80% from the free throw line this game. That is really impressive for Landon Jordan.
Jordan looking for his 17th. That one's too strong. Gizzy gets it back. Jordan back to the rim, had it knocked away. Good hands by Fry. Almodovar back against Gizzy. Good line cuts him off. He'll go right back to work. And a foul on Max as he picks up another personal.
And an interesting call because while Almodovar was trying to go inside on Gizzy, he started like shoving with his off arm right there so that he could get to that spot. So I almost feel like that's just a play on. That's not a foul on Almodovar, but that's definitely not a foul on Gizzy.
I think Almodovar, obviously extremely talented, but he does use his physicality to his advantage a lot of times. Finally gets a free throw to drop. He's still their leading scorer today with 18. It's just not been real efficient.
Yeah, definitely the opposite of an efficient night for Almodovar, but I mean, like you said, still the leading scorer of this team, still making his impact felt.
He's had as many as 37 in a game earlier this year. 28 as well in 2 others, and had 18 points on 7 of 13 in the first game against Huntington. Jordan to the rim, has a chance for 3.
And Landon Jordan is taking full advantage of that mismatch. There is no chance Gowdy can guard him, and he knows that. Goes right in, draws the foul, puts it in, and Landon Jordan, a chance to take the scoring leader title from Lane Sparks right now.
He's made this personal today. You can tell he's going at every single big.
Yeah.
He's from Cherubusco, around the Fort Wayne area. He's made this a personal game today, and he's gotten the better of St. Francis. Left that one short. Gizzy pressuring the ball for 94 feet.
Well, while playing almost 40 minutes as well.
Burke, really quiet afternoon for him as well. Zips it in, nice catch and score by Rogers. A great pass by Burke.
Rogers, his first points of the game on a nice little easy layup. He has not had quite the impact off the bench that they were hoping for, as he's been routinely getting sought out for matchups by the HU big guys.
Jackson Bounces it in, Landon catches, jams, and how about another three-point opportunity?
And there is no doubt that is an and one. That is head contact by Rogers, and Landon Jordan is just bullying the St. Francis big men. It's not even close.
This was an issue for a while for St. Francis. They just were not big enough to defend Huntington, and today it's kind of been the same thing. Without Malone, there's no one.
Yeah, there's no one that they can call on that can guard HU big men.
Landon with 21 now, and he's going to sub out, and he should get a standing ovation after this performance today.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, fouled out Isaiah Malone, who's their best player, dominated any kind of big man that the St. Francis Cougars could throw at him. I mean, this was Landon Jordan's game.
Huntington using some of their subs now. Cade Brenner and Landon Beagle in with Caden Johnson, Jackson Paul, and Drew Goodline. Almodovar, guarded by Drew. There's that chicken wing again. Looked like he walked. Burke bounces it to Fry the second. Robert up and under, blocked by Johnson.
What a play from KJ.
Johnson up top now on the offensive end, kept it in play, but a little too strong. Northern, he'll go coast to coast, stops and scores.
What
nice
a
move.
The deceleration to make Drew Goodline jump, that was a really solid play there from Northern.
He's pretty crafty that way. He's got the ability to shift his body and score tough buckets. Seen that for a few years.
Here's Beagle, who hasn't seen many minutes this game, but a chance to play while they're up big.
Landon's got it now. Drives through the rim, gets to the right. Tough move and score.
And every single player that has played for the Forsters has scored so far.
Three in the corner, that's off. Johnson clears. Love to see Beagle get some confidence. He was open in the corner for a moment. Jackson Paul now. He tries calling his own number. Too strong off glass. Tough shot there. Northern, back to that same side. Back outside Fry the second. Launches and hits. He's had a nice day off the bench.
Yeah, he's been really effective for them off the bench, being a good on-ball defender while also moving off the ball on offense. He's had a really solid contribution.
Ari Hood right in front of us. McNeil waiting to check in as well. Those two have played some significant minutes off the bench this afternoon. JP, right hand, nearly got the roll. Instead, it'll be 2 free throws coming in just a second away from our last media timeout. This is exactly what HU needed, because even though each game in the Crossroads League is really competitive, the schedule gets pretty tough for St. Francis. Huntington's got Mount Vernon and Marion, who are two teams in the lower part of this league. They could take advantage of those two, and you start to look up, you might be eventually 19-5, 20-5, and you feel pretty good heading back to Grace, who you played pretty well here at Platte Arena as well.
Yeah, the Forsters' schedule definitely allows them to jump the Cougars in the standings, depending on how good the Cougars do in their matchups, which any team in the Crossroads League, we know this is such a competitive league. Any team can get hot on any night, and they could beat IOU or Bethel in a random game as well. You just never know.
Burke to Hood. I like Damari Hood. I think he's going to be a really good player in this league, just a freshman. Burke has really just been shut out today here, Ryan. He's got 3 points all on free throws. Hood back through the lane. Johnson, great D, better O. I'm telling you, he's going to be good.
Yeah, he's got all the tools you need. He's got the length, he's got the size, the shot, the instincts on where to go, where he needs to be. He will be a great player for a couple years.
Jackson going right down the lane. They are not going to count the bucket. And it's going to be free throws for Jackson Paul. It's double bonus the rest of the way.
And the coaching staff not happy with some of the calls, even though there's a big difference versus.
So we've got a media timeout as we take our last break, and we'll be back right after this.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Back in Platte Arena, 20-point lead. Jackson Paul's got 2 free throws coming as now Huntington's in the double bonus. St. Francis right behind him.
And Rogers just got fouled out of the game as well. 2 big men for the Cougars have fouled out of this game. That has shown you the kind of pressure they have put on the St. Francis bigs, and they've made them work all night.
Coach Lacrosse still getting upset with the same official. Just not sure why you don't just throw him out of the game. He is in charge of the league, so maybe he has a little weight there.
Well, it's been mostly the whole coaching staff. They've just been yelling
But
a
Lacrosse
lot.
has a lot of say in the league. He has a lot of say with the rankings and stuff like that, so he might get a little longer leash than some other coaches.
Yeah.
Johnson misses the first, has another one coming.
Double-digit game.
But I think if
scoring.
he keeps going at that same official, I'm telling you, he calls technicals on people every game I've watched him officiate. So I don't know if the officials don't want to write a report or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
McNeil off the bounce. Out top, Fry the second. In and out. Tries to get in. Big fella out there now, Zane Burke. 3 on the way from Gowdy. No good. Good line. Battles for it. Keeps that foot in. And now Jackson Paul running the other way. Aiden Johnson working hard. Oh, tried to flip a no-look pass. It's taken away. Back the other way, Damari Hood.
And he just continues to impact this game. He is a really solid freshman.
In and out. Again, Johnson pulls down a rebound. He's starting to pile him up. He's up to 6. Go along with his 11 points. Good line to Brenner. He'll fire another triple. Still nothing happening as that hits the shot clock. It'll be St. Francis basketball. Johnson will check out, Bruvier in, and Kamani Smith will check back in. It's a good chance for Kamani to get an extended run here, kind of show what you're made of.
Well, and these games are always really good for playing some guys that maybe don't get a ton of minutes every night, trying to get them on the floor so that they can kind of prove what they can bring to the team.
Right side, Damari Hood got the shot off, but it's a foul inside as Goodline's going to be called for it. Drew whistled for the personal. That's just his first. Now Gowdy has 2 free throws as Huntington's over the limit.
It has been a foul call heavy game for absolute certainty. And once again, the coach drawing at the official. I'm surprised he hasn't gone thrown out.
Gowdy misses the first, has another one coming. That one is in. A couple of assistant coaches reminding Chad Lacrosse if he gets thrown out, he's not coaching the next one.
Yeah.
20-point lead for the Foresters, 3 minutes left. What we saw with Landon Jordan, that's why he missed that Marion game, which looks like a loss now you wish you could have back. Kamani had that one ripped away from Damari Hood. Freshman looking to continue to attack, and Goodline's been whistled for 2 straight as Hood heads back to the free throw line, looking for his 10th and 11th point.
This will be a really solid win for the Foresters, kind of the get back against the St. Francis squad that beat them by 20 plus in their other games. So it's really, this has to be a feel-good game for the Foresters who, you know, get a little bit of get back at the team that blew you out.
Hood into double digits with that one. One more coming. Mari, perfect on that trip. 86-68, 2:30 left in this one. Almost taken away. Brenner, not the best pass. Brouvier able to bail him out. Now Kamani will reset with Drew Goodline. 2 minutes left. A lot of guys out here right now for both teams getting chances that usually do not. Drew to Cade. Tries to fire another three. Had it tipped, I believe.
Oh, no, that was tipped.
I'm going to say Brenner just airballed that one. Cade has struggled a little bit this afternoon. That 2-point bucket, as Hood is feeling it now. Triple is missed off to the right. Cade Brenner pulls it down. I think both teams right now are ready to get out of here.
Yeah. Rough game, a lot of foul calls, which is always really frustrating as a player. But a really solid win for the Foresters, and I'm sure they're very happy with the way that this game turned out.
Reach in. That is going to be on new player in the game. Chase Newton. Just seeing a couple of minutes here late in this one.
And there's definitely no doubt about that being a foul call. They reached in and grabbed the waist of Goodline. You can't do that.
Goodline has 11 points. A lot of those came in the first half. It's been quiet here in the second, but it's been the rest of the team that's kind of picked up the effort on the offensive end.
Ben, pretty much all the big men. I mean, Lane Sparks, who plays power forward. You have Landon Jordan, Roman Brouvier, KJ. They've all had massive impacts on this game.
Drew gets the roll on the second. 13 points for him to go, along with 7 rebounds as well. Drew does a lot of good, like, small things well that you don't really notice till the end of the game. You look at the stat sheet and think, Drew Goodline had another really good performance. Gowdy battling against Brouvier. Whistle comes against Landon, and Gowdy back to the free throw line.
That was an interesting call. I guess he probably stuck his arm out a little bit too much there, as he definitely was a mismatch with Gowdy being a little bit bigger.
Been 65 free throws in this one, 66 now.
That's a lot of free throws.
Fouls in the game, 23 on St. Francis, 20 on Huntington.
Yeah, so I mean, it really has been a relatively balanced foul calling game. I mean, yeah, the St. Francis has 3 more, but that's really not that big of a deal. It's not an egregious amount of foul calls going one way. Kind of both.
Goodline finds Beagle, who's open in the corner for a moment. Tries to find his classmate in Cade Brenner. Minute left, up top, Brouvier catches. Strong move to his right, no whistle as Gowdy was able to keep his hands up. Deshaun McNeil from Camp Zama, Japan. Long ways away from home as Brouvier denies it. Back inside, good defense again by Roman. Loose ball, Kamani throws it out of play.
Kamani, the heads up play there, fought for the board, realized he's going out and just threw it off the Cougar player there. What a heads up play from Kamani Smith.
Kamani seems to be in the right place at the right time a lot.
Yeah. He has a knack for being always, like, he has a knack for impacting the game in every single way.
Huntington can take one more shot. I think even the officials are asking not to foul here.
Yeah.
It's been a long afternoon. It's about 6 o'clock, and we're just about to wrap this one up. Beagle trying to put icing on the cake.
And every single player has scored for the Foresters that has checked into this game.
Huntington takes care of business today. It was kind of a hot start in the first half. They got it going again in the second. Took care of business. Huntington can dribble it out now, and they are really now starting to look at that 3 spot as a real opportunity. You never know what can happen in first and second, what happens with those teams, but Huntington comes in today, and they took care of business on their home court. That's what they needed.
Yeah, this is a big win for them. It kind of shifts a little bit of momentum, especially against a team that is ahead of them in the league, and now the Cougars have to be kind of perfect from here on out if they want to stay ahead of the Foresters, and this is a very big win.
91-69 scores from all over the place. Every single player that checked in for HU today came away with a bucket, and it's the revenge you're looking for. You get beat by 24 at St. Francis. And today you come back and you return the favor just like that, and it was extremely dominant throughout that second half.
Yeah, I mean, you felt like in the first half they definitely pulled away, but it was still very doable, and St. Francis just had to play a little bit better than they were. But the fans getting into it with the St. Francis players right now.
It's not super atypical in a game like this. As now Jaden Sutton, it looks like, was getting a little upset with one of the players. And now Coach Corey Alford, we're waiting for him to come over and speak with us. It'll be just a second till we have him join. You can always expect some fireworks when these two teams meet up.
But very close to each other, obviously conference rivals. Really good matchup.
All right, Coach Corey Alford here for the post-game interview now, following a 91-69 win. Coach, we talked about how the last time you played these guys, you were a much different team. Well, you looked like a much different team today. You took care of business, and in both ends of the floor, you guys were pretty dominant.
Yeah, that was much better offensive execution. I mean, it's night and day, the team we had in November, which is what it's supposed to be. But I thought we've learned a lot on both sides of the ball. We executed our game plan perfectly to play all 10 guys score. Shoot 53% from the field, hold them to 5 total assists and 37 from the field. Can't ask for much better than that. Out-rebounded them by a ton, probably our best rebounding margin of the year. But got Malone in foul trouble, which was definitely a focus for us. He's playing at a high level. But we needed that one to take care of home. Didn't want to get swept by them. So very proud of the effort.
There was a point in this season that you kind of had to maybe make a point of emphasis to Landon Jordan. You wanted him to maybe play a little harder, get back on track. He did that today, and he's been doing it for quite a while now.
Yeah, I think he's had a great month and a half here. I think just like anything, even though guys are 22 now and been here for 4 years, you still go through ebbs and flows.
Yep.
And Lane Sparks had his time too, where we had to kind of reset the focus. Lane's was just getting him targeted back on shooting jump shots, which has led to his higher efficiency the last 3-4 games. And Landon Jordan is just play hard consistently and don't let any outside noise mess with your focus. When he's focused and playing hard consistently on both ends of the floor, he's truly dominant. 21 and 8 tonight, went 9 for 13 from the line. But it's a testament to Lando. He's worked on all this stuff throughout his career, and happy for it to be paying off. And we're a lot better team when Landon Jordan plays hard and plays well like that. And very happy with where we're at. We got a big road trip game tomorrow or next week, going to Mount Vernon. That'll be a really tough one, but had to get 2 wins this week. Very happy with it.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next weekend as Miriam will be back in town. Good luck Wednesday at Mount Vernon.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Coach Corey Alford joining us here following a big win. I tell you what, they needed that in the worst way. Not that their past wins against Bethel, obviously a huge win against the top 10 team in the country, but today to follow it up and win the next one feels pretty good for the Foresters.
Well, and it also shows that, you know, because sometimes when you beat a higher tier team like that, people will say, oh, it's a fluke, oh, they just had one really good game. Well, this shows that, no, they are really that good right now. Foresters playing at high level, they're defending at a high level, they're scoring at a high level, and they're getting production from all of their guys. It was a really complete and well-rounded game for the Foresters.
So Huntington now just 1 game out of 3rd place in the conference. They can continue to build on that, and it looks like they are playing towards a home game in the conference tournament. Thank you guys for tuning in wherever you may have been watching tonight. Preston Husband, Ryan Holzapple, the rest of our great FDN sports crew. We'll see you next Saturday as the Marion Knights are in town. Just about time for tip-off. The lights coming on and the action about to start.
I'm working hard, I ain't never stopping. I keep it pushing, I don't need the problems. Yeah. And what's the key to success? You gotta stay on the grind if you tryna be next. I keep my face to the sky, tryna line up these checks. Better hustle, bet I win, I ain't coming to play. I'd rather cut my time short than kill off my respect. Got a plan for the money, better hand me the bag. And homies back with the business, ready to blast. You lost hope and lose faith, but just don't lose track. This paper making people crazy and the city's bad. From Atlanta, New York, out to London and back. I keep a hammer, no choice, rather shoot it than lack. I keep my lessons on point like a student in class. Mouth shut, ears open, trying to soak up some game. I guess the goal turns slow, create a profit from pain.